Booktube, I'm here today to do my second tag video for this week, and it's going to be the 90s cartoon book tag because nothing gets me like nostalgia. It was created by Ben Sanders, so his original video will be down below, and here are the questions. The first show is Rugrats. Awesome. Find a book that is a nostalgic read. For me, it's anything by Shel Silverstein. I just think back to my childhood and just how awesome it was to encounter poetry that didn't talk down to you and wasn't the nursery rhyme. That was really quite cool. The second show is Doug, which I did really like as well, and it's to find a book about growing up because that's what the show's all about. And I went for Dinah and the Green Fat Kingdom, which is a book from my childhood, so another nostalgic book. And this is about a young girl. She's 12, and I think it takes place over a year as she becomes an adult, and not an adult, you know, a young adult. And I really connected with her growing up, so that's why I chose this for a book as someone growing up. It's by Isabel Holland. The next show is Johnny Bravo, which I did enjoy, or the challenge for that is to find a book whose main character you don't like. And if you've watched my reviews last month, you'll know that I had a real hard problem with Hector, from Hector and the Search for Happiness by Francois Lelord. The next show is South Park, and to be honest, I didn't watch this too much. The challenge is to find a book with questionable humor, and for that I'm picking a book, I'm not going to show you what it is yet, that I laughed at, but you're probably not supposed to laugh at. And that's how I interpreted this question, and it's Edgar Allan Poe, and this is the complete works. What I'm thinking of in particular is a short story called Berenice that involves someone's obsession with teeth, and I found it very funny but very disturbing, and it is actually, you know, not supposed to really be laughed at, so that's why I chose it for questionable humor. And then the next one is the Powerpuff Girls, and that's to find a book with a kick-butt female lead, and for me that's How I Live Now by Meg Rossoff, the character of Daisy. And she's not in the typical YA dystopian, gotta save the world, kick butt, but similar situation, dystopian world, but very realistically just wants to get her family back together, and is amazing. And I think that very kind of realist approach to that situation is what makes her so much a good role model. Next is Rocket Power, and I don't remember the show, and it's probably because it was centered around sports and I wasn't a very sporty person. So the question is, what is your favorite sport-centered book scene? I had to think a lot about this, and then I remembered Infinite Jest. It's all about tennis, but they list out how to play this game called Eschaton, which is really hugely complicated and has to do with like world powers and nuclear bombs, and it's played on a tennis court, and it sounds awesome, and I would love to play that game. So that is my favorite sport-centered scene. It's from Infinite Jest, the Eschaton scene, I guess. Last question is Futurama, which I adore. I love Futurama so much. I still rewatch it. And the question for that is, what is your favorite science fiction? And why are you doing this to us, Ben? I can't pick just one, but I am going to pick the piece that kind of introduced me to classic science fiction. And that is Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. This is an amazing story that not enough people are reading. Everyone pick down 1984. Yes, it's really good, but read this. Read Brave New World. Read Brave New World. It's the complete opposite of, kind of the complete opposite of 1984, and is much more truer to our world now. And I think I'm gonna do another review of this so that more people will read it, because it's amazing. Yeah, so that's the 90s cartoon book tag. Thank you for watching. go out and now watch all these shows